It looked like you had a reaction to that Foster's you're drinking there.
I had to freeze it for an hour.
Ooh, there we go.
I got a joke for you, by the way, to start off this episode of Give Us the Launch Codes.
Oh,
You ready?
yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. A hand job from a deaf person is technically oral.
Oh,
So that I was dying.
feels like a joke that a well, at first I think, well, that should be a joke that a deaf person could tell, but I don't know how you would sign language that.
I like that. That's a joke a deaf person gets. Oh, hey, hey. When braces are okay. How, how you been, buddy?
Well, I've been doing well. You know, my Rams didn't quite make it
Oh,
to the big game. I'm sad about that. Uh
that was a game though. That was a game.
yeah, that's one of those games where like you could tell the two teams playing each other are actually good and they're
Yeah.
evenly matched and it really just came down to who is going to make the more costly mistake. And in the end, the answer was poor Xavier Smith muffing that punt. He muffed it twice, but the second time he couldn't recover, and that
No,
ultimately led to a Seahawks touchdown. And you take that, you look at the score of that game, you realize if he had just caught that ball or didn't touch it at all, we could have won that. Like
you could have.
that's one less touchdown for Seattle, and we'd have gotten in.
Especially when Seattle's number 27 gave you guys 15 yards on the touchdown.
Hmm.
Dude, that guy should be fired. You don't taunt the coaches like that. That's just bad. Ah, man.
It's like, come on. Say, come on. The refs have been like assholes about taunting for like the past few years. Like they've been giving taunting penalties to things that weren't taunting penalties.
Oh
Like,
yeah, remember when like what was it when he I forget 2 years ago or was it last season? I forget which game it was, but someone tackled someone and they got up and because he was talking to the guy while he got up and it's like you don't really know what he's doing. He's just getting up off of him. Taunt, 15-yard penalty. And you're like,
yeah,
you don't know what was going on though.
yeah. I remember like Puka Nakua got one of those where I don't think he was like just making like a strongman pose. But I guess his body was facing the direction of like
Oh yeah.
the guy who tackled him after he made like a really great catch that
I
got a lot
remember
of
that. I
yards.
think I remember
Yeah,
that.
and I guess the ref thought he was like, yeah, what now? But I think he was just doing it for the crowd, the audience.
Just doing it
Like
for the
he
flex. Just the flex. That's what
and
you
yeah, no, 15-yard penalty. Yeah, no, so the audacity, oh, I forget that who is that player? Yeah, the audacity of that one guy to just like, yeah, you like the yeah, you did like to the rival coaches. Like
yeah, to the
what are
coach.
you do? Like come on. What league do you think you're in? But it doesn't matter. He's forgotten about it. Everybody's forgotten about it. It's all about I'm sure I'm sure the one of the coaches probably said, "Okay, you cannot do this."
At the Super
Or the
Bowl.
big one. You cannot do this at the Super Bowl.
Be hilarious if he did that again. The same guy. That'd be funny. That'd be funny as hell. That'd,
um,
that'd be
yeah.
great.
So we're taking a break from all the bad things in the world to talk about something much more important, the Super Bowl. And I guess the more broadly the past football season. By the way, Tom, I wanted to congratulate you for you successfully pulling off the tank. Was it a 2-15 season
Yeah.
for the Las Vegas Raiders? Congratulations on securing Fernando Mendoza as your next quarterback
And
at the
hey,
upcoming NFL draft.
it's harder than it looks. Hey, as the cheetah for the Cheetos mascot says, it ain't easy being cheesy. Take some.
Um,
Yeah.
I hope they have.
So you're right though. For this one, folks, we did 3 weeks, basically 3 episodes in a row, of some actual serious, heavy stuff, and like about our country, and we thought, you know what? We did three serious. Let's have 3 weeks of fun. So this starts off
Yeah.
the first week of fun. Even though you're right, Travis, Super Bowl's important. It is the American event, basically.
There's absolutely nothing political that's going to happen at the Super Bowl,
Nothing at all.
uh, which is why they picked Bad Bunny for the halftime show. Who I guess he said some things not in his music, just offhand social media posts about the president.
And don't forget,
Whatever.
and also too, he likes to cross dress, so I guess that's controversial. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a fluid wardrobe, like a
Hey,
lot of
yeah,
pop
hey,
stars.
because the dudes in the '80s wearing tight ass leather, that wasn't weird at all.
Like Prince and Michael Jackson, other
Alice
halftime
Cooper.
show goats. Yeah, they whatever. And also they have Green Day, a famous apolitical punk band, Green Day, performing, like, I guess the opening ceremony concert, whatever. Like there's always like some sort of music act beforehand.
I got that.
Um, so that's the closest I will get to my childhood dream of having Green Day perform in the halftime show.
Hey, it still counts with the Super Bowl. They
It's
performed.
something. It's something. Yeah, and you know what? It's fitting because they're at a Bay Area stadium. They're a Bay Area band staple. Sure, why not?
Hey, speaking of
Uh,
Bay Area, I just hope Bad Bunny has Santana on. That'd be perfect.
hmm.
Perfect, just to bring him on, just for one little like solo riff thing. That's all.
I will say the Bad Bunny thing, and again, maybe this, I mean, obviously speaks more to my personal taste in music, but the Bad Bunny thing, I've heard of Bad Bunny, and I think I'm sure I've heard something where either one of his songs or something he's guest first on. I can't name a single song that he's done. And I'm not saying that that's a mark upon him or his popularity. He's very popular. I know a lot of people that are really into him. I'm just talking about me. But I was saying, like, there is going to come a day where, they will announce an artist for a Super Bowl show, and I'm gonna like the headline artist.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, who?
Who
Who is
is
that? Am I supposed to know who that is? And then all the I don't know. I'll probably have children by then, and all my children are gonna look at me like, "Yeah, Dad."
this?
And that's
Square.
how I know I'm old. That's going to be the big indicator that I'm old. And I'm starting to get a hint of that with Bad Bunny, where I'm like, I can't name a single song, a single tune or beat or lyric. Well, he speaks Spanish, so that's fair. That that this guy has done. Which I guess kind of makes his show a little bit exciting for me, as like, okay, I'm gonna get a proper introduction into this guy's music. It's gonna be a true cold view for me. Even though normally Super Bowl halftime shows are like recognizable artists performing their greatest hits, and so it'll be a nice 25-minute crash course on that stuff.
I know. I only know Bad Bunny from the SNL skit he did with Pedro Pascal and the Mrs. Flores thing. That was funny. It was funny. Yeah, he played the aunt. I forget the actor's name who plays the kid of the son of the mom. I know he's did a special recently. I think it was Netflix. Funny dude. But yeah, I just know him. Honestly, I just know Bad Bunny as a comedic actor.
I guess he's got some charisma for some
It was
comedic acting
funny.
jobs. Yeah.
He played the sister or the aunt, and it was the whole setup of the skit. The shtick was, when a Hispanic boy brings his white ass blonde girlfriend home, and the mom like judges everything about her.
Oh
But
boy.
the joke at the end is where they're like going to sit down for some food, and the kid's like, "Oh, I'm not," the guy's like, "I'm not really that hungry. I'm okay." And before the mom, because stereotypically Hispanic moms like, eat, eat, eat. You're not eating enough. You're skinny. You're skinny. You got to eat, 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 eat. They're forcing you to eat to
Hmm.
grow up.
Yeah.
The girlfriend's like smacks him in the arm and says, "You always do this. You need to eat more. You're so skinny." And the mom's like, "Oh my
See, if I was writing that
God."
skit, if
She's
I
in
was
love
writing,
with him. Yeah, you were writing it.
if I was making that skit, I would make it to where like you find out the white ass girlfriend, like her mom or dad is Hispanic, but she clearly takes from the other parent who's like
Oh
pasty
yeah.
white.
I'm
But
surprised
that you know who I'm married to, so
yeah.
that's where I'm coming from.
Well, they haven't done another Mrs. Flores skit in a while, and it's like they only did two, but those are the if you watch both of them on from SNL, they're funny. They're funny because it's just the joke about Hispanic moms hating on a non-Hispanic chick
Hmm.
their son brings. Like the
Yeah.
first one was hilarious because Pedro Pascal is just railing into this girl for like, oh, she dresses like a lesbian. Oh, she doesn't believe in money. And then the girl's like, oh, hey, before we eat, should we pray? And then the mom's like, oh.
She's a Catholic.
Yeah.
That's what.
And she gets all emotional. You know, Pedro Pascal plays the mom, is all emotional. And so when Bad Bunny played the aunt, the joke was him and Pedro Pascal, they didn't shave their facial hair. They're literally just wearing a wig and fake boobs. And they just like when she says to him, because she smacks her boyfriend, funny, right? Yeah. She says, you always do this. You need to eat more. You're too skinny. And it's
Uh,
funnier is because it's Mrs. Flores. So,
is-
um,
well,
so
yeah, that hits for you.
oh, it's great because like, oh, it's not,
Miss Flower. Right?
yes.
That's what Flores is, yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Flower.
It's an effeminate name, no offense.
Check it out. It's funny as shit. So I only know him as a comedic guy. So to me, due to the BS of the controversy of just him playing, I'm like, oh, this guy has the charisma and the comedic chops to play this up. I mean, you saw,
Yeah.
I think last year his SNL monologue, he ended it in Spanish and said, if you don't understand, you got 3 months to learn.
Yes, okay, I did hear that joke. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's
he's funny. He gets it.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
guess
props to
since
him.
we're talking and since we're talking about this, we're going starting off with the Super Bowl. It's funny how yeah, it's just funny to me. It's like, really, this is what people want to get their clutch their pearls over? Oh no, it's an all Spanish speaking performer, and he's performing at the most American thing ever. I'm like, okay, first off, dude, a lot of Mexicans love football. It's like a big demographic is Hispanic men love
Isn't like one of
football.
the biggest like one of the like the big like I well
Biggest
okay.
pop artists, just
Yeah,
pop,
yeah. I'm trying to think of like Hispanic players, and it's like I know of Christian Gonzalez
but he's
on the
bigger than that.
Patriots. Like he's huge. Yeah.
He's on Taylor Swift level. He's an American artist because
Mhm.
he's a Puerto Rican,
He is a
American,
mainstream artist.
and
He
he's
is one of
also
the
American.
biggest, yeah, one of the most popular artists working today. And
Yeah.
I respect that. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and
That-
I have some coworkers of mine. Seems like most of the fans are female, and they're just like, "Oh, he's fun." It's just his music is fun. His concerts are fun. Women love him, and it's like, isn't that the whole point of like music? It's just, hey, chicks love it. Cool, where the chicks at? I mean, really.
and I don't know, and again, I don't know much about his music, but I just little I know, I have to imagine a lot of it's just going to be like fun
Where
Latin vibes, you know?
fun Latin
Uh,
vibes, big production
no
value.
explicit political statements. Well,
Well,
you know,
maybe now.
Kendrick Lamar's show wasn't, I wouldn't say explicitly political, but it
Well,
was one of those shows where you're like, oh, there's a deeper meaning
yeah.
behind all of this.
Well, here's the thing though. If no one was bitching about it, he wouldn't have. But I guarantee you, he's now going to do it because he doesn't give a shit. That's
Well,
the
Trump
thing.
won't be there. Trump will be there to watch this time.
No, but you get what
His
I mean, though.
bandwagon team, the Chiefs, didn't make it, so.
But that's all. So I don't. To me, here's the thing, though. I personally, I haven't cared who does this halftime show since Paul McCartney last did it. And I think it was at '06, '07.
Oh, I thought it was older than that. It was a long time ago when he did it.
I was in elementary school, but I think it was in the latter part of elementary school because I remember he did the "Baby, you can drive my car," dun, dun, and the
I
holographic.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, yeah, that was the last time I cared because afterwards I'm just like, I don't give a shit about the Black Eyed Peas. I don't
I
care. Like, bring back
yeah.
band.
Although I keep thinking like I think of like the mid 2000s as like the lost decade for Super Bowl halftime shows because
Yeah, you.
after the Janet Jackson incident where
I saw
yeah,
that.
you know, like that was the last time for a moment for like a span of a few years that they
2002.
okay, yeah. It was like Super Bowl 38 when Janet Jackson had her infamous wardrobe malfunction. That was the last time where there was like, oh, we have contemporary pop artists do the halftime show. And afterwards, it was all nostalgia acts for a
Yep.
while. It was like Paul McCartney, The Who, Rolling Stones, Tom Petty. Uh, I guess would you call him Bruce Springsteen as a nostalgia act? Even though
Yeah.
they're still,
Come on.
yeah.
No,
I
well,
mean,
he's just
yeah,
big in Barcelona. That's the thing. He's bigger across the Atlantic. Here, he's still a nostalgia act because look who it is.
yeah. In
Oh, sorry, oh 05. Oh 05
it
was
was
the
oh
last
05.
time
Okay.
before. So that's when I remember he did Baby, You Can Drive My Car. Dan, dan.
Hmm.
It was oh 05 was the last time I really cared. Because I just
It was kind of like there was a moment where the NFL got scared
Mhm.
after the Jan Jackson. It was like, whoa, whoa, this is too racy. The olds don't like it. We got to cater to them. Say, no, 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 it's okay. We got the stuff. We got the old classics
You
for
can't
a
deny it
while,
though.
and then
It
yeah,
was live nudity, and apparently Janet Jackson said that wasn't a part of the performance.
yeah. That didn't look like it was a part of the program. That looked like it was a mistake, or just I don't know. Justin Timberlake went too far in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I get
Yeah,
it.
no, that could not have been scripted.
As I'm saying, like I get why it was. They kind of like they go damage control. When you do damage control, you overreact, and then you get a lot of nostalgia performers and bands. And then we just kind of, I mean, if you're that invested in the Super Bowl, like you need to have more time in your life to do other things. If you're more invested in the halftime show than the actual game, it's like, come on, dude.
I will say the thing about the purpose of the halftime show, at least I think ever since Michael Jackson did it. First of all, that's the weird thing. The halftime show used to not be like a pop star showcase. It used to be kind of more. You kind of look up the stuff they did before. Like early on, it was like marching bands because that's like the college tradition. So, oh, we'll do that for football. And then they kind of, as it became more of like, as it became clear that the Super Bowl was the most popular TV broadcast every year,
Yeah.
they started doing bigger stuff, kind of more like I don't know if vaudeville is the right word, but just kind of like
Oh,
like themed and skits and stuff like that. And then Michael Jackson did his performance, and that was like, oh, that's what we need to do. Pop music, it needs to be a mini concert for whatever big music act is big. And since then, I always kind of saw the halftime show as like a validation of like a national validation of whatever act they pick. It's
mhm.
like, there's something about like Kendrick being picked, especially in the heat of the feud. It's like, oh, Kendrick is that big that he could perform on the most watched television show in the country. And which I imagine, for Kendrick fans, that was, I have to imagine that's seen as validation of like liking him as an artist and him going mainstream. Like, wow, look how far he's come. He's in the halftime show, and the same with every artist. I imagine it's the same thing for like Bad Bunny fans. It's like,
He got
damn,
Samuel.
he's
He got Samuel Jackson to be his narrator. Like, damn, his favorite Uncle Sam. That was dope. That was probably the best part of the whole thing. So it's like you're right. It's the whole thing about the Super Bowl is basically like boom, like you're the big spotlight moment, even if you're already big, like Rihanna when she was pregnant, hanging up like 200 feet in the air. Um,
Yep.
yeah. So I mean, super. I mean, as long as it's fun, I could care less because I just like to eat food, watch the game, be with my family.
Mhm.
I'm curious about the trailers. That to me still is the big part of the Super Bowl is the movie trailers, not the commercials. Commercials are kind of lost their luster, to be honest. But the trailers, I'm down
They
for.
have teaser. It's a weird trend of
Oh,
like
the
the
teasers
last.
of teaser.
They
Yeah,
have they'll show teasers of commercials that are going to be played at the Super Bowl.
that's
Like
so stupid.
I get like I think State Farm is doing some ad campaign where they
And
got Keegan Michael Key and Danny McBride, I guess, as like a lesser representing some lesser insurance company, and they're gonna they've been doing some gags, and then you'll see the title card and it has 2/8/26, and it's like, oh, this is a preview of some 30. It's so weird to do teaser ads because they're like the ads themselves are like 20 to 30 seconds, and then the ad you're going to see at the Super Bowl is going to be also 20 to 30 seconds. So it doesn't feel like you're getting that big of a payoff. So it's like, what is with this teaser crap? Like,
money.
no, I want to see a two. If you're gonna build hype
Give me a two
for an
minute
ad
commercial.
campaign, yeah, I want to see a 2 minute ad. I want them to pay like I don't know how much ad buy costs. Oh, maybe I could look that up.
Hey,
Yeah, like
hey,
$10 billion for
you
two
want to
minutes of
you
airtime.
want to know how much it costs? Ask RFK Jr. God,
Did he buy a spot?
remember? Remember his presidential campaign was aired on the Super Bowl.
Oh, yes. I
What
vaguely
the
remember that. Okay,
dude?
yeah. Yeah, okay, I looked it up. Last year, the cost of a 30-second ad at a 30-second commercial at the Super Bowl was 7 to 8 million dollars. So if you can fork up like
It's not bad.
$30 million, I mean,
It's not too
that's
pretty.
just to buy the spot. That doesn't take into account how much you paid to make it.
True. These companies just quote unquote know what they're doing.
Yeah. Um, do you want to? Do you have any thoughts on the actual
Game.
game or the season? Like
Um.
the thing that actually happens at a Super Bowl,
Yeah. Right. Well.
other than your team sucked.
Ha, ha, ha. Okay. Well. Okay. So time of recording, it's Saturday. We still have a week to go. So when we release this on Tuesday, we still got the rest of the week. All we got is the Pro Bowl, and no one gives a shit about that.
No, no.
Fuck the Pro Bowl. God, it's such a joke. So Patriots and the Seahawks are going at it in San Francisco. Well, not in San Francisco, sorry. And what's the stadium in Santa Clarita?
Not Santa
Santa
Clarita.
Clara. Sorry,
That's
Santa
here.
Clara.
No, Santa Clara,
Santa Clara will
the
be
elder version of Santa Clarita.
where the Super Bowl is being played, right?
Yeah,
I hope it's good. I'm more curious about the young quarterback for the Patriots. That when that guy first started in his first season, you could tell like, oh shit, this guy's
he's
gonna.
green. Yeah, no, he's got
Not that
promise.
he's green, he is going to be good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not that he's green. So let's see how we. I'm curious about that. I'm hoping for a good game. Um, I like my Super Bowls to be more defensive.
Okay.
Like when
You
it's
don't
just a
you,
high
you don't
school.
like barn burners?
Well, when it's a barn burner, high scoring game, just back and forth, you're just going like this. It's like tennis. You're just going like this. Back.
He's shaking his
Or-
head back and forth.
Yeah, but when it's a defensive game, like in baseball, you're just focused right there in the center, and you just see bodies just trying to gain that yard, that inch, kick. And
Hmm.
then it comes down to who makes the mistake, who can't just keep up the pressure. Anyone
Yeah.
can think about it. Those guys, because of their athletes or world-class athletes, anyone can run up and down the field. Just run.
Yeah.
It's the pressure, the pushing, the shoving, the hits, the coordination, the sacking the quarterback, just breaking through the line. So that's what I'm hoping for. Just a good game. Obviously, the food. I'm gonna have pizza, wings, and nachos and dip.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have a lot of potato chips and onion dip along
That's
with
all I hope for. I just hope it's a
whatever.
good game. I hope nothing
Yeah.
stupid happens, which what we're hearing, obviously, because unfortunately, who knows what ICE will do? Who knows how rowdy someone's gonna get and stupid? Who knows what we'll do? So I just hope it's a good game. I hope the trailers, I can catch all of them for the movie stuff because I want to see what's coming out because you and I do have to do a movie review for once in our lives.
Mhm.
Not looking forward to the Mandalorian then, though. It's like, God damn, it's over. Who gives a shit about the Mandalorian? Like, you guys suck. You ruined it. You ruined it already.
Uh, I will say I feel like a slight disappointment with how the matchup turned out, like who ended up being the final two. Because I will say I think otherwise this has been probably the most exciting NFL season in a long time. It was kind of like it was like you get up to week 8 and you're still not fully sure. You weren't fully sure who the good teams and the bad teams were. Remember when the Colts just like were blowing everybody out of the water and we're like, "Oh shit." Or nobody expected the Colts to be good and then they turned out to still not be very good. But like they started off really strong. We thought, oh, maybe they're gonna make a serious Super Bowl run. Oh, and then they collapsed the second half of the season. But just unpredictable stuff. The Chiefs fell apart. I won't say the dynasty is over. I think they just need to. I think some people on that team need to retire,
It
especially
could,
Travis
and
Kelsey.
yeah,
Just
it could.
replace those pieces and they could bounce back. But they had an off year this year.
They had a painfully off year.
Yeah.
People talking about the previous season.
The Eagles, who won the championship last year, looked very sussy this year. They were like I could tell from week 1. I was like, they should be beating the Cowboys a lot harder than this, and they never got better. And then they got their asses beat by a fucking injured to hell 49ers team in the playoffs. It's like it's like
He-
like you should be beat
yeah, he
and
should.
just to nail like how much that should hurt for Philadelphia. Look what happened to San Francisco the week after against the Seahawks. It was like
Right?
41-6. It was like, oh no, the Philly just sucks. Like Eagles just suck right now.
Uh,
Um,
Speaking also too though, the Cowboys. Wow,
it's the Cowboys.
that was hilarious. So I mean, we talked about it in our finale of just like, "Ah, you guys suck."
Yeah,
That's
Cowboys.
hilarious. Cowboys just need to get
Um,
rid of Jerry Jones.
yeah, and then yeah, so it's a little so I'm a little disappointed that it's like that the matchup we got wasn't something wild. It's literally a rematch from 12 years ago, of which if you remember that which I think most people remember, I think that was Tom Brady's fourth ring
Yes.
because and and most people remember for the inexplicable decision by Coach Pete Carroll to pass the ball at the 1 yard line instead of running it. Just hand it off to Marshawn Lynch and won the game. It's a fucking 2 minute drill. How do you fuck this up? But Pete Carroll, I guess, wanted to be cute. Be like, I don't know. Maybe he thought like, well, they probably expect us to run it because that's the most logical thing to do. So I'm gonna catch him by surprise and have Russell Wilson throw a pass. Oopsie, intercepted. Gets the game over. It's a rematch of then, but these aren't the same teams. They're not the same coaches.
Oh God, no.
Both the
Jesus.
coaches are named Mike, which apparently that's the third time that's happened in Super Bowl history, where not only the head coaches have the same first name, but they're also named Mike.
Like,
Um, I in terms of who would I root for, I mean, I'm still bitter about the Seahawks beating the Rams, but I want like I kind of like the redemption arc for Mike Vrabel, the head coach of the Patriots, because he got fucked over when he was the head coach of the Titans. The front office really screwed him. I mean, like they had a stacked team. They had AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, and they let Derrick Henry go, and they traded AJ Brown for a better draft pick. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Just get a quarterback.
yep.
His problem was he didn't have a good quarterback, and then he got shit canned because of front office politics. First year with the Patriots, boom, Super Bowl. I know someone who's a Titans fan, and he's like really salty about it. He's so salty. He's like, man, that could have been us. It could have been fucking us. And it's cute because Mike Vrabel used to play with the Patriots too, so it's just some poetry. But also, fuck Robert Kraft for a lot of reasons. He's a Trump donor. He solicits sex work. He got arrested for that once. You remember that?
Oh, okay.
uh, and oh yeah, and he's buddy buddy with Netanyahu because there's like a video of him like I guess he was in Israel and at a press conference with Netanyahu and he gifted Netanyahu like a fucking football helmet with the Hall of Fame logo on it. It's like fuck you. Fuck. Robert Kraft's behind all those like really really weird like stop anti-Semitism commercials, which we obviously are going to get another one this game where it's like you remember last year it was like Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady
Oh
like
no.
I
Wait.
hate the way that you look. I hate the way that you look. It's like is this what
Uh,
racism looks like to aliens? Like
yeah. Hey,
yeah,
I feel it's
he's
like
behind that campaign. He
this is
funds that.
racism. This is racism to Vulcans. It's like that one scene, I forget, I think it's Star Trek Discovery when Spock's teaching Patton Oswald how to like be
No,
human.
that's Strange New Worlds. That's Strange
Strange
New
New Worlds,
Worlds.
sorry. Strange New Worlds, and it's like they say what there that they are. No, there. They are there.
See,
Up
that's the only good part about that particular episode, by the way. That's like
up
I think that's
high,
so far
down
the worst
low.
episode of the series.
Too slow? Why would you move your hand rough at the last minute? That makes no sense.
That was just like they were just riffing, like they were
Well, it's
just
Patton
riffing in
Oswalt. Patton Oswalt can rip
the.
off anything that's nerd.
um. So otherwise, I think I'm leaning towards the Seahawks. The Seahawks got Sam Darnold, who everybody thought was a draft bust, but really it was just because he was drafted by the Jets, and the Jets, Jets are Never been good. You know they're like I think they're like tied with the Angels for like the longest not making the playoffs streak in American professional sports right now. So yeah, Jets are trash. He was with the Jets. He got traded to Carolina. Carolina couldn't fix him because Carolina the Panthers only starting to get kind of good, but they still got issues. Um, he was a backup as San Francisco, so he didn't get to do much. He was supposed to be a backup for Minnesota, but then their starting quarterback got injured in preseason, so he was just the de facto starter. Led them to a 14 win season, collapsed in the playoffs, and they're like, "Fuck you! We want our starting quarterback that we really wanted is healed now, so we're gonna stick with him." Didn't work out well for the Vikings, and then they fired their GM. They fired their general manager this week, and I have to imagine that decision
Dude,
was probably the reason why to let
dude,
Sam Darnold go. So he signs a 3-year contract with the Seahawks. Bam, year one Super Bowl. So
dude,
like I love redemption stories
of
like that. You
course.
know, the ugly duckling.
But dude, speaking of firing, this whole season, like so many people got canned.
There were like 9 head coach firings and one resignation
Fun,
from Mike
yeah.
Tomlin. But like, yeah, like there were a lot. There's a lot of people going on Black Monday.
It was like the stock market, but for football.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that way, that's what they call it. Black, the Monday after the last week of the season is Black Monday. It's like, all right, who's getting fired this week? Of course, your coach got fired after
Everyone,
one season.
Jesus.
But then again, the Raiders do that all the time. They can't. When are they going to ever hold? When is your team ever going to hold on to a coach for more than 5 years?
and they realize it's about consistency and not having like, oh my God, we have to have the greatest season ever. It's like that's not how it plays, but okay. It's not
Yeah, like, come
how
on.
any sports work.
So unstable.
I hope it's a good
Yeah.
game. I'm just looking forward to a good game. It's
Oh
obviously
yeah.
a nice 3.5, 4 hour event of the afternoon on a beautiful Sunday. Lots of food. Everyone has food, drinks, playing, laughing. I'm just looking forward to the fucking pizza and wings, man. That's all I want.
Mm.
'Cause I work in the morning, so I'm gonna come home, rush, shower, power nap with the boys, wake them up, and say, "Are you ready?" Da 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 da.
That's not the music they're gonna play. It's on NBC. They're gonna do the dun dun da 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 dun dun da 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 da. No, I think they'll
Hey,
play the Monday Night Football music next year because I think ABC and ESPN have the rights to do it.
when I hear that, though, I always think of the Separatist army invading Naboo.
Well, it's funny you say that. John Williams was the composer for that
There you
music,
go.
right?
There you go. Then. Hey, hey, remember what the Viceroy says? Victory. Viceroy, we've captured the Queen. Been watching a lot of Star Wars with the boys lately, so that's what remember? Tuck him away.
Look at them away. Yeah, they're with their weird fake Chinese accents.
Now there are two of them. We will not survive this.
That's
But hey,
this is getting out of hand. Now there are two. That's the one I think I quote the
you
most from that movie.
quote the most. You know what I love about that, by the way? Only one guy in the whole series says droid decals. They're called destroyer droids. They're destroyers, but he's the only one saying, "Where are those droid decals?"
Yeah, no, I remember. I think I remember that from like Phantom Menace. Merch
Yeah,
is
it's
like
Phantom Menace. It's the opening.
destroyer droids, but then like they call them droidy cuz.
No, no,
So
no,
now
not
everybody calls it. Well, yeah, just like
one
Newt
dude.
Gun. Yeah,
One
one dude.
Viceroy.
Not even the Viceroy. It's the
Sorry,
other guy, the guy
sorry,
that
the
was
other
with
guy.
him,
This
who I'm sure he has a name. I can look it up on Wikipedia. But like, yeah, the other guy, that guy, the guy
is
with
the
the big
only.
the headdress. Yeah, he calls him Droidy Cuz, and now everyone calls him Droidy Cuz now.
Yeah, he only says it twice too.
I feel like they called him that in Clone Wars because by that time, like everybody just caught on that they're
Hey,
called Droidy
hey,
Cuz.
we call them clankers.
Oh well, there, yeah. Well, that's an all-encompassing term.
I love that clankers. Oh, Star Wars is great. But yeah, so for this episode too, since we've did a little Super Bowl fun and conversation, you had something you wanted to get off your chest, right?
Well, Also, what is with my camera? My
I loved
autofocus.
how it zoomed in on you, by the
I
way.
don't know why. I like put my head down and it's in the auto zoom. Can I like?
Take your chair back. I don't know.
I don't know. It's not fixing itself. Whatever. Um, Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Hey!
There we go. Silly zoom. I could turn that off. I just don't. Yeah. It's kind of hard to summon the enthusiasm. Excuse me. Sorry. I've been drinking Henry Hotspur's hard pressed for cider from Trader Joe's. That's what I've been drinking. I participate in the alcohol intake this time
The
instead of
black
my
hair.
water. Yeah, yeah, it's really good. I like me a good apple cider, good hard cider. Anyway, okay, I'll try to summon the enthusiasm. Yeah, okay, so college football is stupid. Um, or at least like the college football everyone actually follows, like Division One, bowl subdivision. And granted, I did not go to a school that had a college football team. I didn't go to a college that had a football program. So maybe I'm at a disadvantage here.
Can you imagine if they
Um,
did? That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. If you guys, it'd be awesome if Long
you
Beach.
know, my undergrad, Cal State Long Beach. You know, we they would sell T-shirts that say "undefeated since 1991," because that was when their football program went defunct.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah. No, it's so okay. So the division of the NCAA
Right?
where they do like bowl game that where like Alabama, SEC, Big Ten, all of that. Um, there's 10. Well, really, okay. There's 9 conferences, and then next year they'll revive the Pac-12, so there'll be 10 conferences. And I just want to throw that out there because I find their whole college playoff system stupid. And in fairness, I don't think college football at that level has ever figured out how to do a playoff correctly. And I think money is just the reason why. Because really, like, if you want to do this right, if you win your conference, like you win your conference championship, you're doing a 12 plus team playoff, you should just automatically get in. But now it's like, oh no, if you were part of these 4 conferences, the SEC, Southeastern Conference, Big Ten, Big 12, and the Atlantic Coast Conference, or the ACC, um, then if you win in those, then you get in. But all the other conferences, it's like, well, no, you have to be like, you have to be lucky enough to be ranked in like the top 25 and really like the top 20, 15 maybe in the AP poll. It's done by committee, of which
What?
I know at one point, if not at present, one of the members of that committee was slash is Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State under George W. Bush. Why? I have no fucking clue.
What the
She's
fuck?
clearly, yeah, no, like the college football committee, the college
No.
football playoff committee has like random fucking people, and I think a lot of them are just in there because it's like, some of them are just in there because it's like they're friends with somebody. It's
Uh,
like, hey, you want to pick who the, and I swear a lot of those decisions are made based on like who is going to get the most attention TV wise, what is going to bring the biggest TV ratings. So like there are schools that probably shouldn't be in there that get in there anyway because they're popular. Like Alabama had 3 losses, but they got in. This is why I was happy that I was happy for how that turned out. For how that playoff turned out this year because it was fucking Indiana that won it all.
yeah, that's right.
Indiana, the losingest college football program in history. They've lost more games than any other school.
Yeah.
They suddenly get Coach Kurt Signetti, a former acolyte of Nick Saban.
Mhm.
So he learned from the best, and he comes into Indiana is like, what if this team was good actually? And
What if
what if I actually coach this team instead of just like I don't know, focused on how many stars they have on their recruiting profile or, what transfer came over that's gonna like, that has the best stat. What if I just actually coached a good team and they won it all? They went undefeated in the regular season
that was a good game?
and Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, the final game against Miami. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. Yeah, and your boy, your future boy, Fernando Mendoza, dude, that Superman touchdown that he made. I mean, that's gonna be with him for that. Whatever else, like that photo's like on his fucking obituary. Yeah, yeah.
Is it him diving into the casket?
Yeah. But what's been kind of insane, I swear, like people like professionals who cover
Yeah.
at least on TV and radio, like nationally recognized professionals who cover uh college football, um, are brain dead elitists. They say
No.
like the craziest fucking shit that you would never see in any other sport, commentary wise. Like like there are people were just having mental breakdowns over the fact that Indiana was like beating everyone, and like it was the cope was wild because they were talking about Indiana. They were talking about Indiana the way that people in the 50s talked about black people in baseball. Like, well, they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be here. They don't belong here. It doesn't matter how good they are. They they're not the right type of thing that's supposed to be here. I'm telling you, like it reminded me. It was almost like it was like they were showing off that they were scared of the fact that this team has just kind of upended all the narratives on who the good football programs are, and is just like beating the pants of a. They beat Alabama like 38-3. They just like you
Hammered him.
know hammered him, dog walked. I'm trying to think of like a new metaphor of like to describe how much that victory, how lopsided that victory was. It was embarrassing. And you still have knuckleheads saying,
Oh,
"Well,
oh, here's one.
Indiana didn't have an SEC season. They weren't truly challenged, so it wasn't really fair." It's like they beat they beat a fucking SEC team that was there anyway in the
Hey,
playoff.
hey, here's one because they beat Alabama. They fucked their cousins in front of them. There you go. I said
I,
it.
I hope the record is clear that you're the one that makes those jokes and I'm not.
I think it's been clear now after almost 50 episodes, buddy. I'm the one doing this shit.
um, but it's just okay. You know what I'm a fan of, and this is very fresh to me because I just actually got an invite to the
Ooh.
next bracket. You know what I like? You know what college sport I enjoy the most? Um, and actually not even a college sport phenomenon. It's March Madness. I don't follow college basketball heavily, but doing March Madness pools are very fun.
Oh,
Uh,
especially when they're like after the first game, everything falls to shit. After the first game, after the first week of games, just
I once filled out a bracket that a certain team was going to win it all, and they lost. They got upset in the first round
yeah.
because it's that simple. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like you have to be good. It doesn't matter how good you've been. You have to be good on that particular day
Yep.
that you're playing in order to win. And it's like whenever it's like you ever watch a team that's supposed to be good and they just get crushed, and you can tell yourself like, well, they had a bad day. Like that was something my dad would tell me. Like, they just had a bad day. If they were playing on any other day, they would have done better. But here's the thing. They weren't playing on any other day. The game was scheduled for that day. They needed
Yep.
to be good for that day, and they weren't. No, March Madness is beautiful because it's 68 teams, and they do it fair because every conference champion gets an automatic bid. There's none of this like conference elitism crap of like, well, only these four conferences have the good teams, so only the winners there get to have automatic bids. Everyone else, you just have to like,
Yeah, no, I get it.
you had to be fortunate enough to have an elite schedule to like play as much of the good the teams we deem the good ones. It's like no March Madness. It's like 32 teams are automatic bids based on conference wins, and then they'll do like for the other 36 they'll do like a selection series
Yeah.
of like just to fill it out. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. And some of those teams, it's not even like some of those teams weren't even like, won't even be like top 25 type teams. It's like, oh no, you did well in your conference. You didn't win it, but you still did pretty well. Like you never know. And it's like it reminds me of like when in high school we go to theater festivals and it's like all these schools intermixing and you feel like you're in a to get really metaphysical with it, you feel like you're in a bit of a multiverse because you're
Yeah.
seeing different versions of yourselves and you're seeing like what they're capable of, and sometimes you look at it with aspiration like, oh, we could be like that. There's no reason we have to be, like, you never know. Like, it's amazing.
Hey,
It's so fucking cool. And I think of like March Madness as a festival of like, and I think it's because there's so many games happening, like
oh, it is. Oh,
at
yeah.
least one game every day. So it's like you're getting this constant, if you really follow it, you're getting this constant exposure to like so many different teams. And some of them are going for the big trophy. Some of them are just happy to be there. But it's like this big celebration of basketball, of this sport with at all these schools, and some of them are rich and some of them are poor. I love it. I fucking love it. And I enjoy the earlier the round, the more I enjoy it, because once it gets whittled down, it's like, okay, all right, all the happy to be there schools are gone. These are the serious schools. But I love it. I love March Madness. And I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that the college football playoff needs to have 68 teams. That's insane. I'm not saying that. I think the 12th team playoff is smart, but like, you got to be fair about it.
Oh,
Like,
of course.
actually be fucking fair, and don't let. And the only reason they're not is because it's such a big moneymaker that it's like corrupted the entire industry to like not be fair. It's like, well, and it also like incentivize to me, it would further incentivize like actually doing good. Alabama basically gets a guaranteed spot almost every year because they're Alabama and they generally do well. But it's like, did they win the SEC championship? Nope.
Well, you got to admit though, when money gets involved or money is seen as a big factor, unfortunately, other things take precedent. That's
Yeah.
just American business. But here's something that was funny since it's March Madness. I like to call it chicken wing month
Really? Chicken wing
because
one.
wings are sold. A lot of wings are always sold and eaten in March Madness. For example,
Okay.
approximately 2.3 billion chicken wing portions are consumed during the 3 week March Madness tournament.
Ooh. See, now I just want to eat
This,
chicken wings.
hey, this beats the Super Bowl, which approximately is 1.45
Well,
billion.
that makes sense. The Super Bowl is one day, whereas college football is like a 3 week, or college basketball, excuse me, is like a 3 week affair
Oh, of course.
with the
But that just
playoff.
kind of shows you, though, that because it's longer, how much more it's a part of basically for 3 weeks, it's basically people's diet. If you think about it.
Hmm.
Instead of one day where you're just like, oh, yeah, I just had a ton. Yeah. No, it's like for 3 weeks straight, depending on your work schedule, depending on how you take your vacation, depending on what you're invited to and what you go to, it's a part of your diet for 3 weeks, which is an insane thing to think about. Chicken wings, baby. It's the moneymaker.
So, yeah, tasty stuff.
But to wrap it up, though, before we go on to another portion I know you wanted to do for this episode, the final part, basically that's that. So your problem with college football schedule, specifically the conferences, is just the elitist bullshit, and then how it's organized, and then how also too how you saw people basically being like, "No, they don't belong here." It's like, really, they're kicking your ass.
yeah, like your Paul Feinbaums or Colin Cowards, like those types of sports commentator. Yeah, they were like losing their minds. Like they just couldn't. And to me, it was just something that was so unsportslike about it. There's this really great rant by the late great Mike Leach, who, if nothing else, was really great for hilarious sound bites. He did this rant at a press conference back when he was at Washington State, about like about how stupid the college football committee was. He's like, well, we're America. We love committees. We want to do a committee. Who do we have in this committee? Oh, let's have this guy. He doesn't know much about football, but he's a great guy. We'll get together with lunches and stuff. You gotta look up that video. It's so fucking funny. Rest in peace.
Hey,
Um,
put it in the description for people to click on it. The
yeah,
link.
yeah, I should. I should. It's gold. It's fucking gold. Um, yeah, I just think like, college football is like, there's a part of me that, I like to be, I'm not such a hipster where I think like I'm above what's popular, like I like to get in like popular sports because it's just a great conversation starter. It's a great way to talk about current events, especially more and more nowadays, without like that feeling in the back of your heart where you're like, okay, is this guy gonna say something that's like batshit insane and Trumpy? Or are we gonna have a pleasant conversation where we like, get each other? No, like sports, you don't have that problem. So I do it for like social reasons, and also like for football specifically. When something bad happens in football, it can be like the funniest fucking thing ever. Like Xavier Smith muffing that punt at the Rams Seahawks playoff game, that hurt me, but I know for a fact that like that was objectively funny to watch. When it was happening. Like if I was a Seahawks fan, I would be laughing my ass off, and deservedly so, because that was bad. But like, for college football, like I have this feeling like, I'd like to be, like my mother-in-law's into it, and I like to talk to her about it. I like to like, it's a good conversation between me and her. We laughed at like Brian Kelly getting fired from LSU because, she was really bitter about how he ditched Notre Dame for the LSU job, and then it didn't work out for him. And then like Lane Kiffin got the job by doing the exact same thing to Ole Miss. That kind of bullshit is funny. Um, Super corrupt.
Yeah.
It's stupid. But I just wish like their playoff system made more sense, like, and was actually fair. And I felt like, you know, the outcomes of the games mattered more. You know, the same way same thing with like bulls. Like we'll have the cut rate insurance bowl and the you know the
Tostitos Bowl.
the Tostitos Bowl. The only good one of those sponsorship bowls is the Pop Tarts Bowl because they go fucking nuts with like the sacrificing the mascot that's edible.
Yeah.
Like they go fucking gonzo with it. I appreciate that. I appreciate when the sponsors like lean in to their thing
Yeah.
for the game. Oh yeah, and they get a trophy that's like an actual like toaster.
That's
So it
awesome.
like actually works as a toaster. It looks
It
like a
actually works.
Lombardi.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like a Lombardi trophy, but if the football was a fucking toaster.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, okay. That's some of my college football rant. Yeah. It's gonna be great to see I will say, it's gonna be great to see the SEC slowly fall apart because there's a lot less money in the South and NIL is a thing. So NIL and transfer portal is a thing. And so they're gonna lose a lot of their good players to like um, northern schools or at least schools in big cities that have money, because there's more advertising money they can get from that. And you got, which, I don't think NIL was the be all end all solution to the whole, college students not getting paid for sports that their schools and companies were profiting off of. But
Yeah.
it was like, it was a band-aid. It was like, you know, they got to get something for that labor, man. Like, it's a for-profit industry.
Of
It's not
course.
right. Yeah.
South Park made a joke about that with student athletes.
Athletes, like it's a
That's how
three-syllable word.
Hartman says it like that because the joke is he thinks you can make money off of student athletes because Cartman's upfront about college sports. It's slavery. He's upfront about it. So
Hmm.
when he goes to talk to like I think someone from Ole Miss, like the head coach, he dresses up as a Southern plantation owner and says like, "Oh, how you doing? These Southern athletes. Yeah, hey, I wanted to look at your crop. Yeah, these pictures. They look at the picture. Your fine boys here look like good stock. I'd like to purchase some of them." Stock? What are you talking about? Like, oh, give you a good shilling for the boys here. The tall one there looks like he could do some good field work. It's like, are you talking about our student athletes? Oh, I like that. Yeah, student athletes. Good way to look around the law there, I see. Working around the law. That's what we got to do here, us owners. The episode is called Crack Baby Basketball. I recommend everyone watch that
Okay.
because it's a good commentary on just the like, come on, guys, college athlete stuff is like a little, yeah.
Yeah. I think to me the real problem with college athletics is that it's so well it exists under capitalism and it's super popular.
Yeah.
It's the like college sports, especially like football. It's the closest thing I think America has to compare to like how like soccer is in the UK
Oh,
because it's
clubs.
like
Yeah,
it's like a
it's our club.
local
Yeah,
thing.
it's our
Yeah.
club.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like the closest thing we have to like the club football culture up there because it's like it's local, it's embedded in the town. You know, you're not freaking gonna like USC is there's no threat of USC moving their football team to like
New York.
Idaho, you know,
I
New York.
I
Yeah, yeah.
know.
I
I
don't know. Yeah, yeah.
I
Hey,
like that.
New York could use a college football team that New York City could use a college football team that people give a shit about, but
No, but I get what
it
you mean. Well, that's the thing. For us, our club sport mentality is college sports, from
yeah.
basketball to volleyball to football, lacrosse, softball. Man, hey, when softball's kicking in, remember people getting into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Softball kicks
Oh
in.
yeah.
Yeah. Student athletes.
Um, yeah, yeah. College football is dumb, needlessly dumb. Um, and it doesn't have to be. If it was less dumb, I'd probably follow it more. Um, but you know, whatever. That's my college football rant. I'm sure there's some hardcore college football fans listening to me. It's like, well, I can tell you're not a real fan, but it's just it's an observational thing that it's something that I've observed that it should, if anything, keep me from being a real fan. You know.
Travis,
Um,
they're listening to you and saying, that boy can use the back door.
they
Tying into your little rant about how they don't belong here.
don't belong here.
Or in Star Wars, hey, we don't serve your kind.
um.
All right,
So,
ready for the fun?
yeah, yeah, let's go full circle. Let's have some fun. Just to close this out. Tom,
Yes.
um,
Oh, how are you?
so we've seen our fair share of halftime shows. Um, you know, if there was a halftime show, like what is a halftime show that you would want to see? And I mean, if you could talk about, I mean, obviously, we talk about let's keep it like realistic. If
Okay.
you want to talk about like an old band, maybe you could talk about it like, oh, it would have been great to see them do this
Oh, I know what
at
your answer
X
is.
year. Yeah.
Well, I've given you my answer. It would have been cool just for Led Zeppelin to do one of the Super Bowls back in the 70s and or like
Ooh.
just one time.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, like when you look at classic Zeppelin before they really got like into more of like playing with the instruments, the sounds. I mean, the fact that on stage you gotta, oh, my dad's gonna kick my fucking ass that I can't remember the lead guitarist right now. Jimmy Page. They had Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page was playing his guitar for a whole lot of love. So the violin string.
Mm-hmm.
That's clean. That's what the like. Think about that. Just the genius of that. But I would. I mean, okay. So you're talking about like, okay, realistic. Okay, obviously, from the past, it would have been cool to see Zeppelin do a Super Bowl way back then.
Yeah.
That'd been awesome. Or if excuse me, the drummer never died. It'd have been great for them to have done it like as a callback in the '90s. Like, hey, we brought him back together, kind of thing.
Oh.
James
Hmm.
Brown, obviously, I don't think James Brown ever did a Super Bowl, but that's just
No,
cool. For realistic, for
I
right
don't
now,
think so.
maybe do something right now. If it was like, okay, next year we won a raffle and you and I get to choose who does the Super Bowl halftime show. My bid, honestly, because they still got it, and I think their music is still it's enough to get the crowd hyped and have fun. And I have nothing against artists, but when it comes to Super Bowl halftime shows, I want a band. That's why I like Paul McCartney. He was with his
Hell
band.
yeah.
Bruce Springsteen was with his band. Even Prince had his band with him.
Mm-hmm.
I would love the Killers.
Ooh.
Because when the Raiders went to Vegas for the first year and they hosted the Super Bowl, and I'm like, dude, the Killers are a Vegas natives. Like, how can you not
Mm-hmm.
do that? How awesome would it have been? Because they can still sing. Brandon Flowers still has his voice. It's not those songs aren't hard to perform live. Watched
Yeah.
them growing up in Glastonbury all the time in middle school and high school.
Oh
I think the
God.
Killers would be great.
The all the whites getting turned to Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
That would
Uh,
be that would actually be really great. I would want to see that.
Smile Like You Mean It, Miss Atomic Bomb, Mr. Brightside, obviously the biggest one, so you know they're going to play it anyway. Or what was it? All these things that I've done. You
Yeah.
know, I would like the Killers. It's simple to the point. They're a small band. They don't take up much space. You can quickly have them go around crazy. Have the band stay in the Circle Stadium, you know, encapsulated by everyone, and have Brandon Flowers just walk the stadium while singing.
Ooh, yeah.
I would do that. I can't think of any other band. I mean, like I like Greta Van Fleet, but I don't think it would work in that setting. You got to think of everyone because that's why I didn't say MGMT. But I think because you saw the way, I think it was the
Say
summer.
whatever's in your heart.
No,
This
no,
is
no,
a
no.
time to
Oh,
have
well,
fun.
to me, I think it works the best though. That in my heart, I'm
Okay.
with my heart. I'm thinking of everyone because
Okay.
why I
Okay.
think of the Killers is if I think it was the Summer Olympics. Remember when they closed out with oh God, who performed? You know, the band that does Litsamania, like a ride.
Oh,
Phoenix,
Phoenix?
yeah. Remember
Yeah.
how Phoenix at the last Summer Olympics ended with Phoenix and how baller that was?
Yeah.
That the athletes stormed the stage and they had to get them off. Remember that?
Yeah.
So that what makes me think I'm like, oh my God, you got to bring back that era of rock and roll and hip and alternative rock. Bring back the Killers. They're amazing. They have awesome songs that can fill a 15-minute slot easily. They'd be perfect.
I feel, again, I think about the kind of
Hmm.
the lost decade of halftime shows in the mid 2000s. I
You
feel
said
like
it.
that would have been like maybe if the mid 2000s weren't so if the mid 2000s NFL wasn't so terrified that they were doing nostalgia acts every year. Oh yeah. Like I think absolutely they could have gotten the Killers for that.
Oh, they should have, especially when you have Mr. Brightside alone, because by then they had a catalog
Hmm.
and people would be jumping, popping. I put my money on the Killers because that's I know you said like have fun where your heart is. I'm like that is where my heart is because it's like it would rock the stadium for
Yeah,
50.
that's a great pick.
You have our the 40-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, the younger, and then the older ones like our parents were like, oh yeah, I remember when they came out. They're pretty good. I like
Hmm.
their music. I think that would be cool next year to see Killers wherever they do this. Bowl. Where's
Awesome. Let's see. Okay. I going back and forth. I nodded at the idea of Green Day doing a halftime show. I feel like the best time to do it probably would have been in the mid 2000s, but yeah, they're
oh,
doing the
especially after
opening.
that American Idiot tour, like right then,
Yeah.
I wrapped up. That would have been perfect.
Oh yeah,
Remember James
2005.
went. James saw them, our classmate.
Hmm.
Yeah, he said it was the greatest thing. I'm like, oh, that would have been cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
I saw them with their I saw them on tour at the Forum for when they came out with 21st Century Breakdown. That was like
Oh,
actually my first real concert that I went to, and it was like 3 hours too. It had an
yeah.
intermission and everything. It was like a full act one and an act two, and it's great. And Franz Ferdinand opened for them, so I got to see them live too. Yeah, I went with my dad. I was 14. That was like my first real rock concert experience, and my dad was like, I was like, wait, this isn't Green Day. And my dad's like, no, 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 they're the support band. They're the opening act, and that's a thing that a tradition in rock. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the act one ended. Of course, it's not obvious that act one is over. But and everyone's just kind of sticking around. It's like, what's happening? And my dad's like, I think there's an act two. I think this is just intermission. And then they opened act two with American Idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we got the goods. They got the class. Oh well, it was a new classic, and it wasn't like anything dookie, but yeah, and then yeah, no, that would have been great. But I guess I gotta you know take my pound of flesh where I can find it. Out of respect, not that I'm a big Metallica guy, but because I'm not, but I think like I mean they could do it now. It's like if there's one metal act that they should have or should have had, it would have been Metallica. And the best time would have been to do it like after like post Black Album,
Of course.
so
No.
early '90s. Um, that was like Metallica at their peak, and yeah, it's a shame. But and I've been trying to come up with a better answer. I'm trying to come up with a different answer to this question, but I gotta go with my heart. And I think I'm thinking this because I saw like how a certain segment of America reacted to Bad Bunny getting picked
Yeah.
for the job, and then same thing with Kendrick Lamar, as well as the reaction to his show. Some people just saying like, yeah, that was the most satanic halftime show I've ever seen, because they're actually mentally ill. Um, so my thought was, hold my beer. Let's get Ghost to do the halftime show.
That'd be dope if they actually did like those bands.
They're not. It'll never happen.
No.
I know this. It'll never happen. But I'm just speaking from the heart. It'd be a nice mix of like sort of pop theatrics and like good old
Oh, of
fashioned
course.
instrument rock and roll. Then with their silly costumes, they got enough bops to where they don't even have to like bring up any of the devil worship stuff from their heyday. Although Year Zero, that is a song that was meant to be played in the stadium.
Oh, of course. Well, you told me.
They were meant like yeah, the lyrics "Hail Satan, Archangelo" that was meant to be sung in the middle of like SoFi or whatever. But yeah, like they can open up with a lot of the stuff in their newer album actually I think would probably make up a lot of the set list pretty well, because a lot of that stuff is kind of designed for more of like a big crowd. But like
Oh,
Peace Field is a good opener. Respite on the Spital Fields is an excellent closer. Obviously, they would have to play Mariana Cross because that's their most well-known song. It's a song that got big on TikTok.
there's always
They've
that
got
one well-known song you have to play no matter what.
Oh yeah, yeah. They'd have to play that. Um, if they wanted to have a moment where like they calm things down before they get to the finale, they should play their famous cover of Rocky Erickson's "If You Have Ghosts," which and specifically the way they did it at the first concert of them that I saw on the Imperator, where they played it on a piano and that there was like a female vocalist backing up. It was very soft, it was very sweet, it was very beautiful. That'd be a great way to calm things down. But yeah, Ghost would fucking kill at a halftime show. But just I mean they're not that big. It would never happen. But it would be great. It would be fucking great. Like the crowd would be entertained. At least the ones with the most with the most partially open of minds would be like, okay, they got some spooky costumes on, but these guys are fun.
Yeah, why not?
I like that they play instruments, and the spectacle is mostly on the weird looking band members playing instruments. Oh wow. You don't need a lot of background dancers to hype this up. Although I'm okay if they played Dance Macabre and they had a bunch of like people in skeleton costumes do dance on stage. That would be awesome. But you know, that's why we both miss having bands
Yeah, I miss
do the halftime show, because the spectacle is just the
the band.
people playing the instruments. Look how skilled these the actual artists are, and
Yeah.
not just the like the distractions,
Well, the
waving their
problem.
hands and dancing, which I'm sure they're all like they're very skilled and talented, but it's like, come on,
Well, the problem with that is no one's Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson can pull that off. He can pull off this the flair, the dancing, the skill because it's Michael Jackson, and he can actually dance. Now it's
Hmm.
like this. You just have a cool outfit on. That's all you got. Like, unless you can dance, unless you're like like a really good front man mentality where you're not only dancing, but you can do all this stuff, the moves and everything, keep it going, keep it flowing, keep it up. You're just looking cool in your drip. And that doesn't do it enough, especially if you're just an artist. Like if you're at a concert, fine, that's different because as a concert, people are paying to see you. The halftime show needs to be more than just that. You need to pick up an instrument. Like, I mean, okay, I guess thankfully Taylor Swift can play the guitar and the piano.
Yeah.
But no, I want bands. Like, okay, I like how you said Ghost. All I could think of is like, dude, you know who should open up for Ghost at the Super Bowl? Slipknot.
Just get all the bands that have masks on their faces.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Actually, you know what? You know what I would love if it happened back in the 90s? The like Papa Roach,
Ooh.
hey, the Butthole Surfer, Rage Against the Machine, like those bands. Oh, fuck. Hey, I know you hate them. Oh, dude, I would love to see at the halftime show. Hold on. It's just one of those days. Everything sucks. You got it here for the family. That'd be cool to see that play at the Super Bowl. And Biscuit. They're saying like those bands of the 90s. That'd have
I'm
been
trying to think,
so.
did Limp Bizkit play in the Super Bowl? I feel like they've
Oh,
done. No, okay.
they've done big stuff. But
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, you make when you say that, you're like, yeah, you have to have those kind of like bands or groups where it's like, that would have been cool then in the 90s if all those bands played, like the ones that really shaped MTV.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah.
That'd be cool. I like that. I like that. Ghost. People, go check out Ghost.
Yeah. And they got a tour going on. I'm gonna see them on the 21st at the Honda Center. It'll be my third ritual. That's what they call the concerts. They call them rituals.
Oh, ritual at, hey,
Um,
see, a ritual at the Super Bowl would be awesome.
okay, did you hear that? So they're on tour right now. They're on the last leg of their tour. They performed at the Kia Center in Orlando, which is where the Magic basketball team plays.
Okay.
Apparently, the day after that concert, the Orlando Magic got blown the fuck out, and some Kia Center staffer raged on Twitter that Ghost left like a demonic curse on that facility.
Awesome. That's
And of course, the band just ran with it, like,
that's such cope.
it's
That's
like,
such
dude,
a
aren't you like an eighth place team? Like, get over it. It's like I think you're. It's not like they played in the wherever fucking the Thunder plays. I think they're still number one right now, and they got. It's not like that. Like, come on, yeah, no, that's some cope. That's some marketable cope there. Like, come to bring the ritual to town, and we will curse your. Oh God, does that mean the Ducks are gonna have a massive collapse?
it might. It might. I know the Kings are having a shit season. Oh,
um,
this was fun. I'm glad we're taking 3 weeks off from the world.
maybe we should call it a fun February,
Fun February. Fun
fun
viewer.
February,
Fun
fun
viewer.
fun fun
Hey,
brewery.
hey, you know what? In case for the titles, instead of making one up, just say Fun February Part 1. Fun February Part 2. February Part 3.
I know you.
I like that.
Ah,
Fun February. I like that. Hey, instead of fuck you, it's January. Now it's Fun February. That's perfect. I like that. We're gonna do that now. All right. That was fun. I'm glad we did that. Ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, thank you once again always for joining us here at Give Us the Launch Codes. You can look at our beautiful mugs on YouTube and listen to our silky smooth voices on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, RSS, and anywhere where you find a podcast. And don't forget to
Hmm.
follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and the platform formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, and also we got a new Patreon exclusive that you can listen to, also sports related. Figured it was
All
a
about sex.
what?
As for
No,
the
we're
future.
just talking about what's like to root for your shitty teams, Tom.
So what's on the Patreon? What's the new
It's the
exclusive?
it's the it's the one we made. It's the one we made about what's it like to root for pain.
Oh
What's
yeah,
it? Yeah,
that was a fun one.
yeah.
Wasn't that one our first video recording?
It was one of the
Second,
ones we made
second.
while we were testing the whole Zoom thing out.
Nice. I like that. So we got
Yeah.
room for pain.
So
Don't forget about our video games because that actually ties into the football we've been talking about. You'll find out if you listen.
yeah, also a Patreon exclusive. Yeah, go check those out. You gotta pay us though. You gotta drop the five. You gotta drop the $5 a month to listen to those.
Please do.
We would dearly appreciate it.
It'll help us go see Ghost more.
It'll help us figure out how to, I don't know, find a better camera for this computer than just the one that's built in.
Yeah, that would actually help us out, folks. Please support us so we can keep growing because we plan on taking over the country. Not the world. We don't need the world. We just want this part of the world. Yeah, just the country.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you, folks. Please keep supporting us. Please keep tuning in. It means a lot to us and to everyone who does. Thank you so much. Shout out, actually, Travis. We should do a quick shout out to our number one fan,
Who's that?
Lou Bird. You know who you are, man.
Oh,
Yeah, I call him Lou Bird. He's Louie. Yeah, but Lou Bird listens to us every Tuesday, right at the start.
thank you, Lubert.
Yeah,
Thank you for your support.
yeah. We're gonna. Hey, when we go big on our first tour, we gotta take him with us. He's gonna have a front
Okay.
like in an outfit and everything. No, everyone, thanks so much. We love doing this. We look forward to continuing doing this. This was fun, Travis. This is a good idea. I like this. Ready for the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, folks. Be smart if you are driving from a bar after the fun. Please walk home. That's our show. I'm Tom.
Travis.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Bye, everyone.